Hello and welcome. In this video series, we are trying to explain REST API automation using Postman. We know that there are a lot of API testing we have to be involved in these days, and automating them with Postman will make our lives easier. So first of all, we have to understand some basic concepts about APIs, the automation we have to use, the methods involved in this API testing, and some basic understanding. So API, as we all know, it's the application programming interface where like some kind of a client-server relationship is there. From one end, a client or end user makes some requests, and then from the back end, from the server side, some response will be given to you, and then you can use that response for your purpose. And also from the client end, when you invoke a method, when you make a call, then that call can update some values in the server's end. So that is the basic idea we are doing. So like nowadays we mostly focus on web APIs, that is the client server relationship which is built on internet. Okay, so again the client is on one side, and this interface will send a request to the server on the other side, and it will process it and make a response. So like this request and response, so like to be happen in certain protocol, otherwise the server cannot understand what is happening. So REST protocol is one of those protocols, and but earlier days we had the SOAP protocol, that is like cater requests for like with more strict rules, with like mostly built for the corporate usages. So that is the like SOAP API. We call it Simple Object Access Protocol, and it uses highly structured XML, so it's a bit complex. But REST API, it's like the meaning is like representational state transfer. It's more flexible, and those using the web underlying methods, the basic methods, and use mainly using JSON data, so it's a bit simple and like more flexible. And also there's one more type, we call it GraphQL APIs. That is, we can use query for data using a single endpoint. So we will discuss these things using the Postman as well. So the method type of API calls, now from this client end we have to do some calls, no? So these things can be like the types we have to understand, a few of the types. One thing is the safe request. That means you make a request to the server, and it will not change any the state at the server end. So that is kind of a safe request. So first of all, like before that, maybe I will explain a bit of like the basic methods using the REST protocol. The main methods used are the get, put, post, and delete. So this is like we go as the crude acronym, like the creating, reading, updating, or deleting. So post method can be used to create some thing, and read method to get the values, and update is to update there's an existing object and we have to update some values. We use the put method, and delete is to delete that method. So post, get, and put, post, get, put, and delete will do the create, read, update, and delete. And so then when we come back to the type of API call, the safe request is like we made a call and it will not change the state at the server end, so like a get method. So you only getting the values, the values are not updating. And idempotent request is like it can change the state in the first attempt, but even though we repeat the same request over and over again, it will not change the, it will give the same result to us. So if I just explain a little bit here from the notes, it's like the get method is idempotent and safe both, because it will not change the server state, and also like if you repeat, it will give you the same result. Like same time, if you repeat it, you will get the same result. So put is like you update something, so it is not idempotent, because when you update it, you will change the state of the server. Okay, so that is not safe. But if it's so that is why it's not safe call, but it's idempotent because when you repeat it, let's say you update some value from, let's say, your age from 20 to 21, okay, then that means you make age equal 21. So first time, then next time you make the same request, that means making age to 21. So it will not change it will give the same result, no. So it will only changing it to it's already 21, and it's again try to change 21, so no change happens, so same result will be there. So it is not it is idempotent, but it's not safe because at the first time it will change the server request. And so delete, and we will first the post method, it's not idempotent and not safe both, because like posting is there is no object, like we create it new, so it's changing the service state, and since it's a new thing, I mean it will always change the service state every time we repeat it. And delete also it's not safe, because when we delete some entity it will change the service state, but you know when we repeat it, it will already that item is deleted, so it will not change the service state, so it is idempotent. And when you take the patch, it is not safe and idempotent, because it will change the server state. And also like the patch and put, it's bit different, because patch you can have some methods like, you know, add certain things. So in array or something you can keep on adding, there you can make some perform some operations. So you keep on adding some element. Let's say you have an array of 2 elements, and we keep on adding some value like ABC or something, and add method we patch it. So every time, like initially it's 2 elements, then it will become 3 elements. Next time you run it, it will become 4 elements, and same element will be getting added. So patch is not idempotent but safe. But basically we use this get, post, delete and put. These 4 are the mainly used methods. Okay, so everything we can show you in the Postman. And when we come to the parts of the API request, like we basically know that there are 2 mandatory parts, that is the endpoint and the action. So endpoint is basically like your URL, you know, the first part, like some like web like URL that we call the base URL, and then we call to a certain endpoint to get the work done. So for an example, the GitHub API having an endpoint for users, and you can give your username and get the list of repositories. So that is one example. So this first part until the github.com is the base URL, and this is the endpoint. And you have to use some actions, otherwise it's also mandatory what you're going to do, get something or post something or like delete something. So we have to give the action. But these parameters and query parameters are not essential. So this is like, this is users is the endpoint, and this one, my name is like the query parameter. So we want to get for this user only. Okay, this endpoint we are then using parameters to, you know, get some specific values. And you can also have the query parameters to kind of filtering these things, and that we will check later. And you know, API, like when you get the component, you have the API header part, include the metadata, and API body part that have the JSON data or something we want to post it, or like some values. And get request, we normally don't have the body part, and then when we do that, we will get a response, that is the API response part. So we go to the, now for this one, Postman. So you can install this Postman, and you can log in and have a free account, and then because with the account you can run these things as collections. So that is easy, like otherwise if you run only one by one, then there will be no history. So when you run from the collections, there will be history. You can go and see like what are the things you have run in the previous days. And also like you can easily parameterize it, and also give the values from Excel file or some CSV file or something. So when you want to make have a request, you can first do create a new collection, you know, a REST API basic or blank collection something, and you can give a name, okay, test or something, and you can have the collection. So So under collection you can add a request. Okay, that's how you are doing. So this is already some added request. For an example, under this collection I have done a get request to get my repositories. Make it like that. And here you can see like params I don't have any params, and header part only these are the default ones, like this is the host, this is the user agent, that this is the Postman from something from Postman, and connection keep live. So these are the header parameters. And authorization, for this part we are not using any authorization, but if the REST API need and some automation authorization, we can use that one and give the correct keys to get the authorization done. And since this get one, there is no body, but if you want to like a post method or something, then there can be some the body data. And if it is JSON, you can give it as raw and JSON, and this one also we will see later. And these things, scripts, that is like when you, before you do request, if you want to substitute some parameters or something, then you can program it here, give as a script, JavaScript, and this is the pre-request before you do the test. And post response is when you receive the response, you have to, you know, extract some value from that and assign to some variable. That kind of actions you can do from the post response. And these are the settings, like we can see later, like cookies and stuff. So if you do like, then in this collection, when you want to do that, one method is you go here and do it run collection. Then the runner will be opened. And here, like if you have some parameters set, here I have not set any parameters, then you can like get it from some CSV file something, and then it will run like let's say there are 10 rows, the iterations number will be 10, and you can run it 10 iterations. And between each method call, you can have some, introduce some delay also. And then like if you want to save the response, you have to click this one, then only the response will be saved. And also if you want to run it as a performance test, then you can do like how many times, how many virtual users you run. So same method will be iterate as a like with this number of same number of users, like a performance test. So if I now run this one, so I'm getting this is okay, no tests are there, like no post response tests are there, but you can see the response now here. The response, these are the all repositories in the under my user in github.com, and even a response has a header part, so you can see the headers here. And the particular request you do, you can check from here, but there are no body part in the request, so that's why it's there is nothing. But here you can see the header, you can see this is the URL, there is nothing else. So if I go a little bit further, like this API, so I will close this one. Okay, and here you can see here for the Star Wars, like I get the list of people here, and then same thing, there is no body, no parameters, anything. So if I run this one, I can run one by one also. Like here you will get the Star Wars, like the characters. Okay, every character name, their attributes. So if I want to get only one person, then I can add for this the people endpoint, I can give a parameter, and then only the character number 1 will be returned. Details of the character 1 will be returned. Okay, and if you want to have something else, character ready 70, you can change it, and then you can send it, you will get that. Then you will see like some basic little bit to show all the methods: get, post, put, and delete. I mean, this is not changing anything, but here I have do some parameterization part, because here like this base URL thing I have parameterized. So in Postman, if you want to do some parameterization, the variable will go in within double brackets. So that is what need to remember. And here you can see, if you go to the variables, here you can define the variables. Under the collection, you can define the variables. So under base URL variable, I have given this is my base URL initial value. Okay, so like then ID I have given 1, so here the ID I have not parameterized, but I can do it also, like I can give it ID also. ID also I will parameterize like this, so ID will be taken from as a variable. And then the post request, you can see like I am posting now. Post, you should have some data in the body, so that's why this is this string, the name string I am posting. Okay, then I will update. I can update the data. So same thing I do, like maybe I will do it like body update. So I update that name field. Initially I add it and then I update it. Then delete it. If you want to delete, you can delete it. There will be no body. So these 4 will return some values. So now like delete also ID I will do like this. Okay, I parameterize that also. So if now I can run this all 4 as a collection. So I go here, run collection. I'll only one set of data. Then like I will so there's no data file, but I will run it. So here you can see now the base URL, substitute from the base URL from the variables, and ID is 1, and you have the success response. Okay, there's a message, you put post something, you put this thing, and you delete it. So these are the responses we receive from the server. So now if I go and change this the variable values, for an example here the base URL I can't change it, but here if I change to 2 ID and I will run again, sorry, I change the initial value, so I will change the current value to 2. Okay, I will make current value as 3, and now try. See, now the ID going as 3. Okay, in this one I haven't parameterized it, that's why it's same thing. Delete, I already made it as parameterization. So delete put 1 also. Now I will change this to a parameter. Okay, now if I rerun it, now you can see all the things should be ID3. So ID3, ID3, ID3. So that is a basic thing how to parameterize. You give the variable in the collection as define the variable under the collection name here, and in the script you can use it as the curly bracket. Even in the body, now if you have the body, if you want to, like in the post one, if you want to give some value here, then you can do it as you can give it with the curly brackets, and then the value will be substituted. So those things we will discuss a bit later. And for the other type, like the GraphQL thing, you can see like this is a kind of a query, but then like you want to get some country from this country's the endpoint. You will get the country code, the languages, like name and the languages for US. So this one is going like a query. That's why it's the GraphQL is there. It's even for the get one, you have to query and get the values, not like simple get method and we get the values. Okay, so here we will run it as a query. So this is, we are not going to do much, but I just want to show it. So this is like you get these values. So it like, even that's why we said like GraphQL is a bit of a complex and query like. But if they have like different so this UK, there's no country code like UK, so that's why it's null. But if you want to do Canada or something, maybe, yeah, see Canada, you will get these languages, their languages. So like this is like we get values from query basis. So if we have like some complex data, like the get, we have to run many get methods with params and stuff. So that's why this one can be used for this that kind of data depending on the situation. But mostly we are focusing on this REST API things in this video series. So now, like in this one, I basically explained the basics of API testing, the methods we are using, the safe, idempotent request types, and then Postman, how to get it like the collection and add some requests, the main request types, and then I did some parameter and make it parameterized, and how to run it from the collection. And when you run it, you have those things under today. Okay, these are the history. You can verify, I mean check it, what are the things you have run it. And then other thing is like this running part, we just do one variable only, like not from a file. So but if you you know, like later you can I will tell you how to like parameterize and run it as a iterative data. For now, it's this is for the first video. We will be here with another video very soon. Thank you.